Art of the Spirit American Whiskey. So much has gone into it, and it's going to go into us, including the return of the KC Kid on this episode of Savor the Burn.
Toy boat.
Okay.
Toy boat.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Yellow Ledbetter.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
The Human Torch?
Anchorman.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay. I was thinking Fantastic Four. Flame on!
But it was. All right.
Yeah, speaking of Flame On, welcome to this episode of the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. To your right is Mr. W2. How do you do?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I was going to work with your one of your many nicknames because of the whole... Whatever. We're not getting into that right now. But welcome back to KC. A round of applause.
I really just want my theme music claimed.
Right.
I'm so happy and excited to be here again for, whatever umpteenth time you've allowed me to break into this space and have some whiskey with you all. And
we noticed you're not wearing your jacket.
No, because
jacket.
It's at the cleaners.
Okay.
And so when Dubs hit me up and said, I need you here.
Yeah.
Cleaners was closed. Messed up my finger.
Oh yeah, you did.
Popped a tire the other day. So things are just they're tumbling all over.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready for. I wasn't ready for this.
Well, the good news is yesterday was the last day of Mercury retrograde, so you don't have to worry about that sumbitch bothering you.
I truly felt like it targeted me. Like I was like a targeted ad. It saw me and was like, you know what? We're gonna mess up this cat's life. Left and right.
The good news is it's only going to get worse because now Pluto has moved into Venus and that's in retrograde.
Okay.
So be prepared for some drastic changes in your lives, fellas.
Only the guys?
Everybody's a fella.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, let's get to it, shall we? We have Art of the Spirit. There's so much going on with this bottle, and we've got cask strength, straight bourbon whiskey. It's called
single barrel.
Is it called Airmen because of the mural?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Single barrel. It's Whiskey Snug pick.
Yep.
It's 132.8 proof. So this could go one of two different ways. I think it's gonna go, oh hot damn, or it's gonna be like, no way, it's 138.2 proof.
Don't forget it.
132.8.
It is 12 year.
And it's 12 years, so I'm expecting lots of flavor.
Yeah.
And single barrel, lots of flavor. Cask strength could mean floaties. So we'll see that here in a minute.
So earlier this summer, I've been a member of the Snug for a while now, and I had not had a chance to make it up there to one of their speakeasy style events. And earlier this summer, this email popped up in my inbox, and what really caught my attention was the artwork on there. David Uhl, who he's based out of Deadwood. He has a gallery in downtown Deadwood, so I see him every time I'm up in Sturgis, and I recognize the artwork, and it kind of caught my attention. So reading a little bit more, that coupled with not every speakeasy is a store pick barrel release. They try to do one or two speakeasies a month. This one happened to be their latest store pick that they were introducing and releasing. So I'm like, this is awesome. We got to do this speakeasy. And you had something going on. I think you were out of town maybe or something. And so I was like,
thanks a lot,
KC Kid.
The KC Kid is as much of a part of the Savor the Burn podcast as I am.
Let's do the speakeasy.
Yeah.
And so, we got together. We met up and drove up to Weston, and we parked on the side, and started to walk around. Event starts at 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what time the store typically closes. I think maybe like 6 or whatever. But as we walked around there, we passed a couple people walking the other way, and they were like, they're going to the back alley. I wonder if.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to the front of it, and sure enough, the store was closed. They had a barrel right in front of the door with a sign that said, if you're here for the event, go around back. And so we turned around, went back around, and as we rounded the corner, you could see the green and red lights. The green light was lit over the door, and went up, knocked on the door. The little barred little window door opened up. You here for the event? Yep. What's the password? Told him the password.
Boom shakalaka.
I thought it'd be toy boat.
Not toy boat.
Right? See, you think about it, it messes you up on the first time. Anyway, can you corroborate any of these events?
Never happened.
Never happened? Well, it's a speakeasy. So you're not supposed to talk about it. It's kind of like Fight Club.
Why'd you just talk about it?
Talk about what?
Okay. So yeah, it was really cool to, show up, and when Dubs knocked on the door, getting to see the little slit open, what's the password, and then he recited the password, which we won't say.
I love watching little slits open.
And then and then we walked right in, and there we are with just a lot of just a variety of different bourbons and drinks all over the place, which was absolutely amazing. And I just think that that was, once you get into the space of having, camaraderie with drinking and having a lot of fun and just, being in this kind of secluded space, I think that you're already know that you're going to be in for a good time. And that's exactly what Dubs and I had, experiencing a little bit of this and just the varieties of bourbons that they had to offer, which is also for a really great cause, which that's something that we'll talk about. I imagine that we're going to talk about that soon.
Mike was behind the counter right there when we walked in, so he immediately recognized me and got him introduced Chandler to him. And
was he wearing a kilt?
Always.
Okay.
And his Guinness rugby shirt.
Okay. It wouldn't be Mike without a kilt.
So we went upstairs. Upstairs was already full. We got there, and but we happened to find some open seating right there. With those the ceramic Tullamore Dew. Why am I having a problem with that? Tullamore Dew.
Yeah, because it's a weird word. It's a funky name. Tell that whore. Tell the whore to do it. Whiskey, I think.
But anyway, they had those inverted
rough translation
as lights above that little bar area. So we just sat right there, which gave us kind of a front row to them actually pouring things up. And so I was able to just kind of look over and go, "Yep, I'll have one of those too." And we tried a couple things that night, but we got a chance to try this. It was, more than a thimble full, but not a full ounce. I think it may have been. No, those were the small little cups. Okay, but they were fairly full.
Which that was fascinating because they were serving it in a. What were they serving?
Oh yeah, so yeah, they had the straight up Southern Baptist communion little round.
Were they little glass?
The metal tray with the cross on the top of it. They pulled that off there, and there was probably 50 just all around there with the little communion cups, and they walked around and.
So very interesting take for us to partake in.
I mean, we were in church.
Yeah. Body and blood. The Church of Bourbon. Amen.
Oh. But yeah, so the Whiskey Snug's latest store pick was a single barrel from Art of the Spirits. And
which I've never heard of until you guys went.
I didn't know a whole lot about them other than I had heard of them because all of their bottles actually have artwork from David Wool on there, and so
that's pretty cool.
That's really the two pieces that is how and why I had heard of them before. All of their offerings, though, are all cask strengths. Everything they do is, I don't know for sure. I think everything is one-off, single barrel type stuff.
Okay.
I don't know that for sure, but I do know that everything they do is cask strength, so it is the higher proof. And everything they do is a little bit up there in age, too. They've got some 7 years, some 8 years. They've got this 12 years. We did not try it because you had to pre-order one of their higher-end bottles in order to be able to sample some of their rare ones, but they had an 18-year. They had a 21-year there. And yeah, I mean, I think we tried one other one from them.
Yeah, I think so.
Because there were two.
So I guess there's probably a wide range as far as MSRP goes on those.
Yes and no.
Like they don't have like a budget model.
He talked a little bit about everything that they do is to give back to vets. They go into a community. Someone comes to them and does a barrel pick, and so they do a barrel. They then visit that community and make sure that the vets in that area are also served with that. So
let's see down here on the back. What is it? $6 for every case is sold is donated to our Whiskey for Vets program.
And I think there's actually more than that that goes to them. So some of their higher end bottles, like the 18 years. Those were $200 bottles, which honestly, an 18-year straight bourbon for $200, that's not outrageous.
Right.
But he talked about that the reason why it is at $200 is because 100 of that goes to a vet family.
Wow.
How about you go ahead and get us poured up so these can be airing out? And
I'll pour.
The Snug talking here. We are ecstatic to announce our newest barrel pick from Art of the Spirit. Here at the Whiskey Snug, we honor the brave men and women who serve our country. What better way to commemorate their spirit than with our very own spirit quotes? Oh no. Well,
this may take me a moment.
I'm going to keep reading?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep reading. Because here...
There you go. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey,
I was trying to get that closer to here, but...
Is that a composite?
Yeah, composite cork.
I have two that have now done that. Not from them, but the dancing goats that Mitch gave me also popped off like that. So
Pop off.
Anyway, Art of the Spirits Distillery is based out in Colorado Springs. Locally owned and operated by Richard Paul, the primary focus of Art in the Spirits is on cask strength, hand-selected barrel picks. The distillery's Whiskey for Vets program aims to support and give back to veterans the inspiration and motivation behind the whiskey. For every barrel selected, Art of the Spirits donates to help a veteran or veteran family in need. The Whiskey Snug is proud to know that our 12-year barrel pick bourbon, featuring artwork by renowned artists Daniel James and David Wool of the Originals and the Airmen, has helped people in need and has honored veterans who have sacrificed for our country. Our barrel pick is available for you to taste and bring home a bottle now. We look forward to sharing a dram with you as we toast to our nation's military. So this is, like I said, Art of the Spirit is out of Colorado. This is a 12-year straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 132.8 proof.
No joke.
He talked to, someone...
We've had a couple Colorado whiskeys, not to cut you off. And every single one of them has been on point.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too. So they source, I think, all of their... I don't think they distill their own stuff. They source their own stuff. And he talked a little bit about that. Not a whole lot. Because
it was very coded in the sense of he's got contacts.
You felt like he was talking about, the mafia would come after him if he said too much.
But there's one of the things from my perspective was like the relationship building that he was having for the goal of this, and potentially getting some really great, bourbons potentially on a good deal
They wanted
to help out. And
yeah.
so that's where it's like...
They want to go unnamed.
Yeah, going unnamed and
Okay.
making sure that he has those relationships.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, this could be,
It doesn't seem very thick, but it does seem really sticky, if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean,
Because
the legs.
the legs are just now starting to show up on the side, on mine anyway. And I've been over here swirling there for a little bit.
Pretty solid color.
Whoops. I guess I went a little heavy.
Well, we're just going to jump right into it with the pour like that. It's 132, so...
Cherry.
Ooh-wee.
I got cherry.
Can I say this real quick? So the last time I was here, this was the first time that it was on the screen. And I got a little bit of feedback that my face does a lot of different variety of flavor, if you will. So I'm interested to know
Flavor face.
what this is going to bring to the...
All right.
to the you can just zoom in, get a nice little quick shot of like how I react. I hope I keep it just the most straight face that possible.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
No. You do you. Don't worry about what your
I'm
face
gonna
is
give it
doing.
like I'm gonna create a bourbon face. I'm just gonna just mean mugging it just straight up as I take it. All right.
Like you're fucking having a stroke.
Apricot.
Apricot. I got cherry, vanilla. And yeah, apricot's good because it's hitting me like stone fruit.
Maybe a little apple.
Okay. It's almost like a
Toffee.
like a
Brown sugar.
yeah. Easy. Like those are easy notes right there. How about the palate?
Yep. There we go.
Cheers, genitals. There's the oak.
Mm-hmm.
The really fruity.
Vanilla
Like
custard.
really like deep fruit, vanilla custard.
Oh, that finish is good.
Yeah, that's like a dessert finish. That's not a... Okay, so it does drink a little hot,
Yeah.
but I don't think it drinks 132.8 hot.
No.
We're like maybe
And I feel like
115 to 120.
I feel like most of the heat is up front.
Yeah.
And then dissipates rather quickly.
Yeah, after that first sip has removed some taste buds, some layers from your mouth, we'll probably be able to taste some more stuff. So yeah, vanilla custard, dark fruit, like fleshy stone fruit.
The lips numb a little bit, so it definitely reminds you that this has a little bit of proof behind it.
Yeah, when lips start going numb, you know you've gone too far. You are past that bourbon borderline. Nothing good happens after there. Not for me, anyway.
Well, that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you're gonna get the, that little burn on the lips, little burn on the tongue. I feel it, warmness going down, the esophagus, all of that stuff. So it's, these are one of those things that I love when it's like really cold. And it's like, I need to warm me up just for a second. Yeah. This is going to be
like you're stuck in the snow and a St. Bernard came huffing and puffing up the hill to you and he's got that little whiskey barrel under his neck.
That is a dream situation. That's a dream scenario I would always want to be a part.
Is there maybe a little bit of a Colorado stranglehold going on?
Colorado hug, Colorado strangle.
Because I mean, like you said, it does go down the esophagus a little bit. It doesn't scorch and burn the earth to your toes.
I got Demerara sugar.
Okay.
It's really sweet. It's not brown sugar.
It's a deep dark sugar.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, and speaking of like the brown sugar and what you said earlier of like the legs to it, it's when you're tasting it, you can feel it kind of like slowly pull down
and coat
the rest of your
look at
your throat.
Those legs on the backside.
Yeah. They're ribbed for everybody's pleasure. How about little tasting notes on the finish?
Finish is warm, lingering, medium long, maybe. And I think it's because the proof is pulling on through that it does have a long finish. But I feel like most of the flavors stick it out all the way to the very end.
Yeah, it's still got like a cherry vanilla kind of fruity, deep sweet. Everything carries through.
Yeah, I like it. I think it'd make a great cocktail too.
For sure.
What do you think? If there was a cocktail that you would have to pick for this, what would you pick?
Right off the bat.
I mean, old fashioned all day long.
Yeah.
I think a Manhattan would be really good. I think a Boulevardier would be really good.
Let me ask this. Is there a situation where old fashioned is not the first choice? Or like...
I don't think I've come across it yet.
Right. For me, no, because it seems like for me, that's just the standard cocktail that whiskeys can be judged by, if that makes sense.
I'd be interested to know if there's one that you just that there is. It's like old fashioned is not the first choice, but like I think you're absolutely right. Like it's kind of the give me part, right? And then the other one,
it's like a test, for the whiskey.
Because I mean, whiskey sour.
See what it does. See what it can do.
It is a test. It is a test. It's an old fashioned is designed to let the spirit take center stage and shine.
Yeah, it's like, let's see what you got, kid.
There's not much to an old fashioned. I mean, you've got a little bit of sweetener.
Sometimes it's not
a little bit of citrus.
It's night at the Apollo. That's what it is. Okay. If it doesn't accomplish anything, it's gonna get pulled off stage.
with the long hook.
With the long hook, yeah.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Hello, my ragtime gal.
Wasn't that a wild cartoon of gaslighting? Just basically taking a man, him running around thinking that he had a frog that could perform, and then a frog would be like, "No, I'm not doing that." I mean, granted,
he did have a frog that would perform, though.
Granted, the
frog did perform, but I seen it.
But granted, that frog was being, sold for profit, so I'm not mad at the frog.
He didn't want to be exploited.
Yeah,
I get it.
But he could have just said that.
Yeah. Right, if he can do a song and a dance.
The frog can talk and everything. Could have just been like, hey.
You're like, nah, fool.
Listen.
I pay a fool who wants to use me.
I need a cut. Help me out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll scratch my back. I'll scratch yours.
Yeah.
Wet my beak a little bit. Even though
Frogs have beaks.
I'm a frog and I don't have a
beak. Frogs are known for having beaks.
There's nothing like animals using other phrases that are animal.
Mm-hmm.
Our scores on here, we've got 4 categories: nose, palate, finish, and bottle presentation. 0 to 5 on each of those. You add those together for a total of possible 20. Divide that by 2. That gives us our 1 to 10 rating.
We did touch on bottle presentation. You know, it's got a nice wood topper up there, composite cork. It did pull apart, but these things happen. Like this could happen from a $200 bottle or a $15 bottle. It just, you never know when it's going to happen. It just happens. There's so much information on the back of it. It's almost daunting. It's got a cool rendition of the Airmen mural on the front. You got the Whiskey Snug
and that's a photograph
medallion on there.
You got a photograph on one side. Actually, so the description, I kind of paused there. I had forgotten. They actually had 2 different labels available. There was this label, which I got because it was David Wool's painting, and that's what really kind of caught my attention. But the other label was a couple Arctic soldiers with night vision goggles on and their guns and all that. So that would be the other artist. You got our Whiskey Snug little sticker on the front of it, noting that it was picked by them.
And can I, while you're doing that, can I say something in the sense of like, kind of maybe a adjacent note, which we've talked about, regarding kind of
it's still biting the nose.
It is regarding the score that I have, in addition to like what I think about this. Can I take a few moments on my soapbox on a second? So like, this is one of those things that,
just so you know, this is where we're editing.
Well, get ready for what I'm about to say. So this is one of those things where like we're gonna have that score, and I mean that's the whole goal of like Savor the Burn. This is what I love about this television, podcast, everything in a box series. But like at the same time, one of the things that we got to experience going to the Snug and experiencing was how beneficial this is to the men and women who, are of service to us and protecting us. And I think that's one of those things where it's like, regardless of what the score is, like the big thing is that you're giving back to these people who, go across and fight for us, protect us. And this is not, even for him, he made sure that this was not a conversation about politics. This was a conversation about, trying to help these men and women. One of the bourbons that they gave or they were offering was about a St. Louis man, right, that unfortunately took his own life. And
22 a day.
And that's one of those things.
On average.
And that's one of those things where it's like, that whole family, their whole world is rocked and changed. And this is an opportunity to be able to give back to them, and provide for them, for the future of their lives. So, that's one of those things that like just prefacing and hopefully appropriately so of like, we're going to give these scores and stuff. But like, for me, I just think like, there's a part where the humanity of what this is trying to do is the core goal. It could be Navigator, whiskey, wine, whatever, that cacophony of, I'll bring up Navigator on a regular basis in the fury of rage and everything. But like, I mean, I just look at this as an opportunity, regardless of how it tastes. This is an opportunity to give back. And I think that if you have these, whatever product that is being sold that is able to give back to a community in need and that's helpful, that is the first things first type of thing. And then it is, how good is it? How does it taste? At the end of the day, Savor the Burn is all about trying to critique how does it taste. And I get that. So I think I just wanted to preface that because I'm looking at my score. It's not that like, I mean, my score ain't bad, but it's just one of those things that like, for me, it doesn't matter what the score is because this is to a cause that helps the men and women.
I like that. And I would also add to that and say that for me, my scores also are, I feel, might also be a little bit of reflective of the fact that having the opportunity to go to the Speakeasy event and actually being a part of the presentation and hearing them talk about the programs and all that, to me, that adds to more than just the presentation of the physical bottle. It adds an additional layer to the presentation.
It did for me.
On this.
I mean, you want to talk about a whiskey that puts right there on their label in front of God and everybody that they are using their proceeds, a portion of at least, to help veterans or veteran families. I mean, whether they admit the fact that they're in need or not, because I mean, you got the proud. The Marines, it's not just the Marines that are proud. They're all proud. They don't want to take the government dole. They want to live on their own. They were trained to survive and to prepare and to get shit done. And sometimes they get into some action, they come back out and they're not the same person and their wiring is a little cooked. And so it's no fault to them. They need help. Organizations like these will absolutely step in and do that. And we've done one before, Lead Slinger whiskey, when we had my son over. It wasn't the best. It was good, and we definitely love the message that they're putting out there.
Yeah.
And just like with this one. So, and he's an airman. So, I mean, it definitely hits home for me. So I gave it the highest score I would give any bottle on presentation alone that doesn't have a box or a bag. So there's a little hint as to what my score is going to be. So speaking of scores, let's get into it real quick.
Yeah.
W2, what was your score on the nose?
I gave it a 4.
You gave it a 4 even? Okay. I believe yours matches the KC Kid.
Yeah. It was for me, I didn't pick up as much as it felt like you all were picking up. It was a little harsh for me to the nose, but I was expecting that from the percentage that we were getting from it.
Right.
So like, I think that that's where I put the 4.
We knew what we were getting into.
Yes, and so that's why I gave it the 4 and went with that.
Mm-hmm. I gave it a 4 1/4. Right off the bat, I got cherry notes, which I don't always pick up on cherry. Cherry for me, I love cherry, but it's kind of a light note that I don't always pick up on. You said vanilla, and then that's when it clicked, like kind of a cherry vanilla, like cream savers. You remember those?
Oh yeah, yep.
So there, and you picked up apricot almost right off the bat, and apple. And I agreed with apricot for sure, because it's like one of the fleshier stone fruits that are pretty good. They're better dry, I think. Dried apricots, I think, have more of a concentrated flavor. And toffee, not just not just
caramel.
Your caramel, but toffee, which is more of a processed and refined is not the right words for it, but just it's a heightened,
thicker too. Right?
Yeah, much thicker experience. And anyway, so palate. What'd you give it on the palate?
4 1/4.
I met you right there. I matched you 4 1/4, and looks like KC Kid agrees.
Yeah.
On the palate,
great palate.
A lot of those flavors carried through. Got vanilla custard, the dark fleshy stone fruit flavors like plum, and
for me on the palate, the vanilla turned to a more vanilla custard.
It went more custard on
maybe
you?
even creme brulee.
Creme brulee, yeah.
So if you take the toffee and the burnt sugars that you get on there and couple that with a creamy vanilla, I get creme brulee.
With like blueberry maybe. Let's see here. I picked up on like a demerara sugar kind of sweetness to it, and you brought up the Colorado Strangle. And yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's hard to avoid when you've got 132.8 proof.
I think that's the biggest thing for me. That's where it's like, again,
it's almost a stumbling block, but you do know what you're getting into. It says it right there on the bottle.
That's the biggest thing, is that you know what you're getting into. Yeah. So like, I think for me, it was like, at first I was going to give it a 4, and then I collected my thoughts, came back, and was like, I think 4 1/4 is fair, because I knew that this was gonna have some heat. Did
you expect that amount of flavors?
I don't know if I was expecting that amount.
Oh wait,
of flavors.
you said you didn't really pick up on the flavors.
So I didn't. Yeah, I think that I was.
Sometimes it's hard to see through the burn.
Yeah, I think I think I'm probably the person that's coming in.
Gotta find a way to savor it though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Branding all over again. I love this. Okay. But I feel like for me, like that's where for me, I was not savoring the burn. I was like feeling the burn, and I was okay with that because I knew what I was getting into. And that's
like
just
cinnamon horchata and like
oatmeal.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you put cinnamon horchata over oatmeal. Holy shit, that sounds really good. You need to get down to an empty one.
I'm gonna finish it.
He's savoring it.
You finish
We're branding here.
He's got to finish his statement first, as you were saying.
No, I think that I said everything I needed to say, but I'm just working on this.
Well, then, speaking of finish, let's go to finish scores here. I gave it a 4.5 because for me, like on the nose and palate, it was 4 1/4. For me, the finish was unique to very few bottles that we've done because it took every flavor that we had before and it carried it through, and it had a medium long finish to it as far as the warm lingering finish goes, which you would expect from 132.8 proof. But I'm wondering how you guys feel about it. It's almost like a cherry Dr. Pepper kind of late finish. Anyway. So yeah, I gave it a 4.5. How about you, W2?
I probably should have given it a little bit better score, maybe even closer to what you gave it, but I gave it a 4 even.
4 even?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
it
felt,
didn't dip below 4.
No, the finish was great, and like I said, it was long, it lingered. I feel like the heat
gives you more to savor.
The heat lingered a little bit. I wish the heat would have subsided a little bit more and let the flavors kind of speak for themselves. That's why I came down to a 4.
You drop a few drops of water in that, I bet it does. Oh. So, something to think about in your future pours.
Yes,
Casey
sir.
Kid?
4 1/4.
4 1/4.
One of the things that I do love about like this interaction is being you providing a description to something that I've never thought about, right? Like that. So like, for example, having that finish be like a cherry Dr. Pepper, right? Like, and now like as I'm like sitting here and thinking about it, I'm like,
because you're on late finish.
I'm like, I can feel that, and that's a beautiful thing because I didn't know how to place it, and I think that I'm right there where you're talking about. It's like I need a cherry Dr. Pepper right here so I can get that like nice comparison right there. But I'm right there with you, and
it's like cherry Dr. Pepper with just not enough vanilla bean ice cream in it to make the float. It's just like got half a third to half a scoop in there, and you're just like, damn it, who ate all the fucking ice cream? So yeah, you gave it a 4 1/4. Yeah, we're all in the same ballpark. Bottle presentation. We talked bottle presentation quite a bit, and I think I'm pretty stoked to hear what everybody had to say. W2, how about you?
I get 4 1/4.
4 1/4? Okay.
Wow, a little bit less than I was thinking of. Go ahead.
Yeah. I gave it 4 1/2.
Yeah.
So for me, 4 1/2 is the lowest, is the highest you can go without a bottle in a bag.
I gave it 4 1/2. I think part of it is a little bit of, doing dubs and the excitement of like having this type of artist. Like the legacy of what this artist is creating on the front of these bottles.
This original painting, I actually saw it in person in Deadwood, back in August.
Wow.
And even the guy, he worked with him before he started doing Art of the Spirits. Like
the guy? The presenter at the Snug?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I mean, that's a amazing kind of connection that he has.
The presenter at the Snug was Richard Paul.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which is the owner, operator.
Yeah. So, I mean, he worked under David.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where you get to see all this amazing work. Harley, correct? And the connection that like I know with Dubs, I think that's why I gave it the extra 0.25 that
plus you guys have that experience of going to the Whiskey Snug and sitting with the presenter and listening to the stories in the background, and so every branding tag marker on there, you've got the Snug, you got the label on the side, and on the side of the bottle, I believe that's put on there for the Whiskey Snug.
It is.
Period.
Yep.
Oh, it also has tasting notes on it.
Oh, well, I'm going to read those here in a second.
Yeah.
Because I got the bottle. But what I was going to say is, so this label, it does not have a Harley Davidson on there. It's focused on, the B-2, the World War II bomber and the airman. But David Uhl is the only artist that Harley Davidson has licensed his artwork for. I think that's pretty cool.
Super exclusive.
That speaks huge volumes. He's in Deadwood. He's a part of the Sturgis rallies every year. That's why he is the only artist that Harley Davidson actually has licensed to their products.
And I want to preface, because I want to be a man of integrity when it comes to like this stuff. When it comes to the branding and packaging and stuff, I think that the 0.45 is him elevating it. Like, I don't think that this is the most amazing bottle in the whole entire world. Like, everything, like, it, like, when it comes to, like, thinking about packaging as a robust thing, like, this isn't blowing my socks off to a certain extent.
Right.
But, kind of going back to that first point of, like, the message and what he's bringing to the table, and just having these beautiful, like, iconic, like, images, that's the thing that, like, pushes it up for me. And so my bias is pushing that to that point, 4.5. So that's where that's coming from.
Are y'all ready for this?
What?
Okay.
What's you got?
The tasting notes on the bottle.
Let's see where we line up.
Do I need to do any sound effects or anything? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Nose. Caramel, cherry cola, and baking spices.
Come on.
All right, so we fucking blew it. All right, so there's cherry, but I didn't say cherry cola. Baking spice. All right, you said caramel, but you said toffee, and I totally agreed with that.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
But cherry cola. Okay.
Yeah, cherry cola.
So,
yeah.
You got an F.
I got an F.
So
you got an F. 1, 2, 3,
So
4,
palate.
5. Palate. All right.
Caramel, brown sugar, dark cherry,
okay.
stone fruit, and baking spices.
All right, so dark fleshy stone fruit. That's what a cherry is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At least the ones I eat.
Yep.
Anyway, so cool. You said caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Demerara sugar is almost caramel.
Caramel, brown sugar.
It is sugar and it's kind of brown. I'll take it. I'll take that.
It's a darker version of brown sugar.
B.
What? No, it's nowhere near a B. This is like a fucking D.
Dude, cherry cola right off the bat.
Right off the bat, yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
I feel like that spoke volumes. Yes.
Yeah.
Finish. Long, sweet fruit, very light hints of oak and spices.
Yeah, we didn't talk about oak.
No.
You said that. No, you said that at the beginning. You did. The first thing that you said when we took it, you said that the oak. If go back to the tape, you mentioned the oak. We're good.
If I didn't say oak, I might have said okay.
So we have a mash bill here too.
Mash bill.
So this. So this 132.8 proof, 12 year.
50% corn.
No, sir. 65% corn.
Oh, okay.
17.5% rye. There's your spice.
Uh-huh.
And then 17.5% wheat.
Okay.
This is why there's no grassy notes and there's no barley.
Yeah.
And then 12 years old. I thought we hit some key points here.
We definitely did. Let's get the final scores. KC Kid, what'd you give it on the final?
8.5.
8.5.
Which is,
absolutely.
That's a great score.
That's a great score.
Yeah.
That's a great score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about you, W2?
8.25.
8.25. All right. I gave it 8.75.
I mean, we're all right there.
I loved it about as much as you can. 132.8 proof.
As Phil educated us on, we are within a half of a blip.
Half a blip. Thank you, Phil. You saw him on the Father's Day stuff. He's a good guy. He brought us that peach melomel to try. Some little cocktails and
scotches.
Some scotches. His wife.
Pick up your empty glass.
Yeah, and smell it. First things that come to mind.
Love. Is that not what I was supposed to smell?
No,
sounds right to me.
These are your words, not ours.
See, this is you're putting me on the spot, and this is where I feel uncomfortable.
Don't. Uncomfortable will come later.
What?
Right now, you just let us know what you think. First impressions.
See, this is what worries me about sitting in between you two.
Just close your eyes and let yourself go pigeon-toed. All right, now let's know what you think. When you smell the glass, the empty glass, the second nose, as we like to call it, what comes to mind?
I think that I smell the cherry cola part.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Do this. Okay. No, make sure it's dry.
Got any oatmeal in there?
See, this is the part. My nose might be broken.
No, it's fine.
No,
on second nose, that's where we usually find the cereal notes.
You're like, my nose might be broken, and I'm sorry to all of y'all. Like, I realize that it's off calibrated. Is there a way I can calibrate it right now?
We'll calibrate that someplace later.
I guess I can
need a torque wrench and a snorkel.
I can smell it. I can smell it. I feel still like I think I'd get anxious about like being a
blowtorch
like
and a pair of pliers.
Mm-hmm.
A lay.
Trust me, son.
We don't need that. That's when you're supposed to go medieval on some people. Blowtorch and a pair of pliers is not
going to need about 135, 125 foot-pounds of torque set on that torque wrench, if you don't mind.
I can smell it now. I do.
Yeah. You smell anything?
But I'm not. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. I can't smell it. I can smell it. I can smell it.
Smell it.
I can smell it, everybody.
Smell it. Yeah.
It's good. It smells it. Whatever you want.
Don't hurt me.
It smells like.
I'm so thirsty.
It smells like Tony the Tiger. They're great.
It's great.
I'll smell it however you want. Toucan Sam, yeah. Just like Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, this is like Fruity Pebbles. Yeah. Yabba dabba doo.
So, if you have had a good time the same way we have with the KC Kid, Mr. Chandler Johnson, check him out. Find him Kalamazoo.org.
.com. I don't have an org yet.
KALIMIZZOU.com. Check him out. Pick Progress. No, Pick.
Progress Project.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. PickProgressProject.com. In fact, you just opened up a...
Yeah, by the time that this probably comes out, the gallery will be gone.
That's too bad.
But, like, I will say this. Like, Pick Progress... this is a project that I've worked on for the past 5 years. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing project, basically highlighting the Black experience in a variety of different ways. And I've been very fortunate to work with the University of Kansas to do a gallery there at Chalmers Hall. And awesome. All 100, I guess over 100 posters are going to be featured at that gallery all the way to September 13th, 2024.
Okay.
So like that's been one of those things that have been absolutely amazing. One of the things that like we're working on is trying to figure out how to make a book for Pick Progress. Nice. So like there's an opportunity hopefully down the road that would be probably the bookend of this project. Of maybe having a coffee table book that's featured for everyone to potentially buy. So maybe one of these days, when I show up on Savor the Burn, I'll have a book ready for to
go Brooklyn. Savor the Burn, whatever.
Born.
Anyway, you get that together. We'll have you right back on.
So
and you can.
I can't get on until I have the book.
You probably can.
Okay, so. This is, should I say goodbye now? I've loved you all. This has been amazing.
Now it's time to say goodbye to current company.
I've did it my way.
And he did. He really did.
Definitely did.
We had a good time with Chandler.
Yeah.
While we had him, we really hope you enjoyed our time with Chandler as we did. And we're going to enjoy his company a little bit later. So stay tuned for Chandler on upcoming episodes, not just this week, next week, what have you. But if and when he gets that book together, he'll be back. But he'll probably be back anyway because we like having you here. It's always a good time.
I love y'all, and this has been amazing. Thank you for
your perspective on this stuff.
Yeah.
And as far as this bottle goes, Art of the Spirit whiskey. This is our first time with them. Yes, it was a store pick, Whiskey Snug pick. So that's not always indicative of the experience you're going to get with any regular everyday bottles. But this company is not your average company.
No.
So you said earlier, everything they do is cask strength.
Yep.
It's all like single barrel stuff.
Mostly single barrel.
Maybe it's single
definitely
batch,
all,
but definitely all
cask
strength. So look them up if you're into that kind of thing. If you do enjoy supporting the troops, not just a yellow what is that?
Around the oak tree?
No, there's a you put it around a tree like a yellow ribbon, or like you got the ribbon magnet on the back of your car. Like if you actually do support troops and enjoy whiskey, this would be a wonderful one to check out along with Lead Slingers. But today is about Art of the Spirit.
And out on their website,
Whiskeys.
they actually have a handful of bottles that are available from their website.
Very cool.
Most of their offerings are not available because they are store pick type barrels that then go to, like in this case, this barrel
Might have
went
to
to
do
the
a little
Snug.
bit of a hunt to find the bottle you're actually looking for.
But they do have a handful of their own that are available through their website.
That's cool. That's really good news.
No.
What is their website?
Artofthespirits.com.
Artofthespirits.com. And one more time, Kalamazoo, KALIMIZZOU.com. If you want to check out Chandler and his pickprogressproject.com, definitely do that. So, whoever you support, and whoever you support, is it whoever or whomever?
Yes.
Whomever.
Yes.
Say it.
Whomever you support, and whomever you support with, and wherever you support whomever you support with, wherever.
Whenever.
Whiskey, with or without whiskey, never forget, keep on burning.